Hello everyone, good evening. My name's Edward Lucas and I'm your MC for this evening. I'd ask you if you can to sit down and take your places so that we can start with our fantastic programme of awards and celebrations and other items that form part of the wonderful transatlantic relationship which is at the heart of what CEPA does. So welcome again to this wonderful historic hotel and these glorious surroundings. It's my great pleasure to introduce the President and CEO of the Centre for European Policy Analysis, my friend and colleague, Dr. Alina Polikova.
Hello, good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us for CEPA's 2024 Leadership Awards dinner. I can't tell you what a pleasure it is to see this amazing community gathered here this evening. This is the capstone event of the CEPA Forum, which kicked off yesterday, of course, the discussion about what we as an alliance must do to secure Ukraine's victory. But this really is our premier gathering of friends of the Transatlantic Alliance, but I think also an opportunity for us to come together as a real community and to remind ourselves of how much we've achieved together, from winning the Cold War and building a new Europe and bringing freedom to millions of people from behind the Iron Curtain. And as some of you know, I was one of those people behind the Iron Curtain. And I can't tell you how humbling it is to have the opportunity to lead an institution like CEPA today and to have the honor and privilege to address all of you. But I think when I think about the historic moment we're in today, we also have to remind ourselves that we can't take the achievements of the free world for granted. Today, we're in the 946th day of Russia's full-scale invasion of Ukraine. Almost 80 years since the end of the Second World War, there's once again a land war raging on European soil. Ukrainians, Europeans in fact, are fighting and dying to defend not just their freedom, but also ours. And I think all of us who have the privilege to live in a free and democratic world are in their debt. CEPA's mission to ensure strong and democratic transatlantic alliance for future generations, to ensure a Europe that is whole, free, and at peace, has only become more urgent and more relevant today. And our mission has guided us to focus on advancing unity in support of Ukraine's victory over authoritarianism. We're not there yet. We haven't won the war, and we still have a lot of work to do together. But I'm confident that with the help of everyone in this room, that we will get there and we will see Ukraine restored to its full territorial sovereignty. But the alliance, of course, is first and foremost united by our commitment to collective defense. But we have to remember that our shared vision is really rooted in democratic values and principles. And it's these values that form the fabric of the transatlantic bond. And it's not just defense, and it's not just our values, but I think it's important that we keep our eye on the horizon and the challenges and opportunities presented by new and emerging technologies, which will define the future of geopolitical competition. It is these strategic pillars, defense, democracy, and digital, that underpin CEPA's work and mission. I'm really proud to share that in 2024, CEPA grew into a true transatlantic institution. With the establishment of CEPA Europe in London and Brussels, this is an investment in our long-standing commitment to support the integration of Europe from west to east and from north to south. And we continue to live our mission by investing in the next generation of transatlantic leaders through our fellowship programs and the talent that I think you see everywhere across this room that has made this event possible. I'm deeply grateful to our board of directors, our International Leadership Council, whose co-chairs H.R. McMaster and Annegret Kramp-Karrenbauer are with us tonight, and our Business Leadership Council, as well as our supporters and partners for making this evening possible and for their commitment to transatlantic values and CEPA's mission. But I'm particularly grateful to CEPA's entire team, who worked incredibly hard to make tonight possible despite hurricanes and the UN General Assembly. And it's just such an honor and privilege to have the opportunity to lead this incredible institution and to recognize impactful leadership tonight with all of you. We have a really inspiring evening planned for you tonight. I am just thrilled to see our awardees here with us in the room. You'll have an opportunity to hear from them throughout the evening, but please enjoy yourselves tonight. Have a good time. This is really about bringing the family, so to say, back together. And now, without further ado, it's my pleasure to welcome to the stage the Vice Chairman of CEPA's Board of Directors, Dr. Wes Mitchell. Wes.
Thank you, Elena. And it really is like family. It's so good to see so many old friends here tonight in this very elegant setting. My name is Wes Mitchell, and I'm Vice Chairman of the Center for European Policy Analysis. And let me say, on behalf of CEPA Chairman Larry Hirsch and the rest of the CEPA Board of Directors, it's my pleasure to welcome you to the 2024 CEPA Leadership Awards dinner. CEPA was founded nearly 2 decades ago, which is hard to believe and makes me feel old. But as Alina mentioned, our mission from the start was to promote closer ties between America and the countries of Europe. At the heart of our mission is a belief that the Atlantic Alliance is America's most important international relationship. It's built not only on enduring strategic and commercial interests, but on the foundations of political liberty, representative government, and the rule of law. CEPA's work has never been more important than it is today. The Russian invasion of Ukraine has subjected a free people to destruction and cruelty on a scale not seen in Europe in many generations. It's inspired America's enemies in other quarters, and it has shown how important it is that the West form a unified front against the dangers that are bearing down upon us. CEPA has been at the forefront of efforts to wake up America and our allies to these grave realities. In the early days of CEPA, people would sometimes laugh when we would tell them that Vladimir Putin was a serious threat, that history had not ended, and that NATO needed to fortify its eastern frontier. Now those ideas are very much in the mainstream of the policy debate. Since the start of the Ukraine war, CEPA has persistently made the case for giving Ukraine the tools it needs to stop Russian aggression. Alina and her very talented team have provided innovative concepts for strengthening the transatlantic link in defense, technology, commerce, and democratic institutions. CEPA now has affiliates in every member of NATO, every member state of NATO. And CEPA continues to cultivate the next generation of transatlantic leaders by bringing young people from Europe to engage with their American counterparts. Tonight, we've gathered to honor 6 inspirational individuals who have shown courage and creativity in advancing the ideals that CEPA was founded upon. Before we hear from tonight's awardees, I'm pleased to be joined by the chairman of our International Leadership Council, General H.R. McMaster. I can't think of anyone who better exemplifies the theme of this year's forum, leadership in action. HR spent 34 years in the U.S. Army and saw combat in the Gulf War and the wars in Afghanistan and Iraq. During the Battle of 73 Easting, he led a troop of U.S. armored vehicles to victory against a numerically superior enemy force during a sandstorm. HR is not just a warrior, but a scholar. He's contributed to our understanding of history and strategy, and he served our country ably as U.S. National Security Advisor. HR has a long history with CEPA. I remember riding with him in a shuttle bus at the end of one of the earliest meetings of the CEPA Forum many, many years ago. He helped inspire the former younger generation, present party included, to pursue a career in public service. HR, I know I speak for Larry and everyone at CEPA in saying how grateful we are for all you've done for our country and our institute. Please join me in welcoming General H.R. McMaster.
Hey, thanks, Wes. Thanks, Elena. It's great to be with everybody. I think you can feel the energy in this room, and of course, we owe this to CEPA as an organization that has risen to the occasion of the challenges that we're facing internationally, and I think the grave dangers that all of us can see as we are witnessing today, sort of the coalescing of an axis of aggressors, authoritarian regimes who are aiding and abetting each other, in an effort, I think, to tear down the rules of international discourse and replace them with a new set of rules that is sympathetic to their authoritarian model of governance, and especially in China's case, to its mercantilist, statist economic model. So, hey, tonight's going to be a great night because, you know, if you think about it, which dinner party would you rather attend? Ours or the dinner party of the axis of aggressors? They're not a fun crowd. They're not a fun crowd, you know? And so I hope that tonight you will feel confidence associated with the strength of our free and democratic societies, and strength associated with having confidence in our ability to effect change, to improve our societies, to rise up to the challenges, whereas the authoritarian regimes, as they appear strong from the outside, are actually quite brittle. So, hey, I'm so grateful for the opportunity to co-chair CEPA's International Leadership Council with Anna Grit and to open tonight's Leadership Awards dinner. We're going to honor some extraordinary leaders on both sides of the Atlantic. And all of us know, because I see the Prime Minister here, Prime Minister Johnson, the counterpart of our very special relationship, that relationship is based on enduring mutual interests, but it's based on the relationships we develop with each other, relationships based on trust and common purpose and really affection for one another. And the people we're honoring today are those who have fostered that kind of relationship on both sides of the Atlantic. They exemplify CEPA's mission to build a stronger alliance for the next generation. I want to thank, in particular, Elena for what she's done to grow the organization in the face of the challenges that we're facing today. And I think maybe what we could all do tonight, if we resolve to do one thing, is to work together to mobilize our competitive advantages and to apply them in a way that allows us to win this competition. I think lately, as a military officer, I've even heard some military officers say this, and I always kind of recoil at it, that you hear some of these phrases creep into our lexicon like responsible end. I mean, I don't know what that means, you know? I mean, we're in high-stakes competitions. I used to box, sadly, in a much lower weight class than I am now. But you know, I never got into the ring and said, I just want to bring this, match to a responsible end, because I realized I would get my ass kicked if that was the case. So I think what we should do is think about how do we mobilize our competitive advantages and work together to win this high-stakes competition, and consistent with CEPA's mission to use our alliance, to use the strength of our relationship to build a better future for generations to come. So thank you all for joining us. It's your presence tonight that makes the night special. And now CEPA Senior Fellow and Advisor Edward Lucas will introduce our first honoree this evening. Welcome to all of you. Thank you for being here.